Ghosties. It is October 3rd, which makes this my first spooky video in October. Today I have two true scary stories, and here's all of my social media, so go check it out. I am about to start posting so much spooky content. I love this month more than anything. There are 28 more days until Halloween, so comment down below and guess what me and Ollie are gonna be for Halloween. Subscribe to join my cemetery of ghosts, and if you join my cemetery of ghosts, you might be able to win a boo basket when I hit 1,000 subs. Let's get into these stories. I am so excited, and I want to make all of my stories going further and further into October much more spooky. This first story is titled The Haunted Block. This one comes from Reddit user Majestic Royal 3169. I just wanted to share a couple of times I've experienced things I can't really explain. I'm sorry that this story is so long. Over the years, I've come to believe not every spirit is here to scare you. Some are here to protect you. My childhood was shaped by the ghost of a little girl in a nightgown we called Robin. These are just a couple of my paranormal experiences. Some neighbors have tree-lined streets and friendly neighbors. Mine had all that, but it also had something else, something unseen. Growing up, I experienced things that made me believe our house was haunted. From the girl in the nightgown to footsteps and crawl spaces, it seemed like the whole street carried a shadow of the past. The first time I saw her, I was sitting on the couch with my sister waiting to head to the bus stop. The TV was on, cartoons flickering in the background, when we both heard footsteps on the stairs. Slow, steady, heavy enough to make us turn our heads. There she was, a little girl in a white nightgown, quietly walking down. Halfway down the steps, she turned, looked right at us, her eyes calm but unreadable. My sister and I froze, then looked at each other, wide-eyed. By the time we looked back, she was gone. Just silence. Just the stairs. That was the beginning. A few years later, a thunderstorm rolled in one night. My sister and I shared a bedroom, and we were curled up watching Disney movies on VHS. The lights were out, the only glow coming from the TV. I was dozing off when I saw what I thought was my sister walk in front of the screen. The shadow swallowed the light, and then the room went black. "Hey," I called out, annoyed that she had shut off the movie. But then my dad yelled up the stairs that the power was out, and my sister's voice floated up from downstairs where she had been with my parents the whole time. My stomach dropped. Whoever stepped in front of the TV wasn't her. That's so weird. It also made the power go out. Another time, I walked past the basement door and caught sight of her again, just the corner of my eye. I backed up quick, staring straight into the basement, but it was empty. The smell of laundry detergent drifted up, but nothing else. My sister and I talked about it so much that we eventually gave her a name. Robin. Giving her a name made her feel much less frightening, like she was just another kid hanging around the block. It wasn't just our house either. At my aunt's place, 2 doors down, my sister and I were helping in the kitchen one weekend making cheesecake like we always did. The smell of strawberries and cream cheese filled the air while early 2000s hip-hop blasted from the stereo. It was just another normal night until there was a knock at the door. "Come in," we shouted without thinking. The door opened slowly, then suddenly slammed against the couch so hard it bounced shut. We froze, music still thumping, spoons in midair, staring at each other wide-eyed. Nobody laughed it off. Nobody said a word. Even my friend Leah, who lived 3 houses down, had her stories. One night, when my sister and I were there, we all heard footsteps above us pacing back and forth. But her attic wasn't even an attic, just a crawl space. too small for anyone to stand in, let alone walk. Still, the footsteps kept going until they finally stopped. Leah used to joke that the ghost in her house was a man, and she even gave him a name, Roger. Over time, it felt like the entire block was haunted. Years later, I found out why. My grandmother's friend, who grew up on the same street, told her a story. In the 1950s, a little girl named Ruby lived there. She got sick with leukemia, and back then there wasn't much treatment. She died young, right in a backyard, not far from where we lived. Ruby. For years, my sister and I called the little girl Robin, but Leah called her ghost Roger. But it makes me wonder, why did we all have our names for this ghost, but then it turns out her name was Ruby? Oh my god, that is freaky. That's literally giving me goosebumps. As a kid, I always thought the little girl in the nightgown was the biggest mystery I'd ever face. Was she real? Was it Ruby? Was it Robin? Or was my mind just filling in shadows? Thank you for letting me share. Let me know what you guys think. That one was so creepy, and that whole R name is like insane. It's crazy when intuition's like making the whole block think the same thing. This second story is titled She Had No Face, and this one comes from Reddit user Type in 3D. Hey everyone, I'm new to the subreddit, but I do have a story that I think is quite spooky. It's relatively short, so you won't be reading for too long. This must have happened to me when I was in middle school. I know I was busy studying for some test or quiz or some other assignment. Picture this, you're sitting on your bed late at night with the only source of light in your room being your computer screen on your lap. No sound besides the tapping of keys. I must have been studying for an hour or so. I'd been so drawn in that I was completely unaware of my surroundings. Yet, somehow, I felt someone watching me. I knew something was watching me. For some stupid reason, I left my bedroom door open, and as I looked up to entertain the idea of some entity watching me, I saw nothing. Nothing in my room or in the doorway until my eyes adjusted to the darkness. Standing in the center of the door frame was a person staring at me. I was obviously startled, but I recognized the figure enough to realize it was my mother. But she was never up this late. She was always asleep, much earlier in the night than this. I simply asked, "Mom, is everything okay?" As I was speaking, I began to realize something. As my eyes continued to adjust to the darkness, my mother's face was entirely blank. Not blank in the sense that she had no emotion. I mean, she had no facial features. I was in a state of shock. I couldn't move. After I finished speaking, all that the figure did was simply tilt its head, standing still for what felt like a minute, and then turn away, walking down the hall. I was too scared to leave my room for obvious reasons, but I did later check on my mom that night. She was sound asleep in her room. The obvious answer to this whole thing is that she was sleepwalking and that I must have been seeing things. But I asked her in the morning whether or not she used to sleepwalk or still currently does. According to her, she's never done it, and I've never caught her doing it ever since. It's just me and her in the house as well. I still can't explain what happened that night, but I'd like to think that maybe I was just really tired and seeing things. Though I felt wide awake in the moment. That one's insane, and that is so creepy. Thank you to everyone that let me read their stories. If you have your own story that you would like me to read, my subreddit is r/ConjureJasper. It's in the description down below, along with all my social medias and my Discord. Please like this video. Please comment down below. It means so much to me. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and you can win one of those boo baskets when I hit 1,000 subs. I want to win one. I'm jealous I can't. Share this video with a friend too and tell them to have a happy Halloween. Stay spooky, guys. Bye.